What's going on, Ghost Squad? Welcome to a special edition of Ghost Live. We are talking SHOT Show tonight. We're going to have a roundtable. Got a couple more people that'll be joining the panel here shortly, but I want to welcome everybody to a special edition. We're going to talk SHOT Show tonight. A lot of you guys are wondering about how to get into SHOT Show. Some of you are like Clover and myself are going to be first-time newbies at SHOT Show. We've got some guys here that have been going for a long time and are going to talk about not only the process of getting in, but also talking about how to attack the craziness that is SHOT Show. And I know that a lot of people don't even really realize what it is to get into SHOT Show. It's a pretty cool thing. So we'll talk about all of that. Let's check out and see who is in the room right now. We've got Crackle. What's up, Ben Farrell? Hemi, what's going on? You got Midnight Range TM. Clover's over there. Crazy Scotsman, what's going on? Yeah, you can go ahead and show that. I don't care. I'm not real too picky on language out there. So what's up, Scotsman? What's up, Grim? The Tactical Reaper on the Gun Channel side. We've got G, Smeggy, Clover, Pants, DF2 Dot, Ohio 45, and Pink. Like I said, this was not a scheduled thing, kind of came about. So we're going to talk a little bit about SHOT Show. Before we do that, let's introduce our esteemed panel. We've got the Tactical Snowman himself, Smeggy. What's going on?
Hey, how's everyone doing tonight?
And the Pink Panther himself. What's up, Pink?
Yeah. Doing okay. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I really appreciate you. G, how's everything going?
We'll dance the Vegas polka. Yes, sirree, I'm feeling fine. Gonna have a darn good time and dance the Vegas polka.
There you have it.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that this invite was going to be a musical.
I didn't either.
From now on,
I'm gonna have to go in and re-look at all my musical stuff and try to find something from the 20s. You know, the Tactical Leprechaun. What's up, Clover? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Well, good to hear. All right, guys. So what we're gonna discuss real quick is I don't know if it's really been talked about a whole lot, but Clover and I spent the better part of the last week trying to get our credentials approved for SHOT Show. And ironically, we had the same point of contact, and it was kind of unorganized at best. But after a long ordeal, a couple days ago, we both got approved for our credentials through SHOT Show. I believe that Smeg just got his approved today. He's been going a while, but he got his email back today, and obviously Pink and G have been going for a long time as well.
So I've never been.
Hold on.
Oh, you never? I thought you've been before.
Maggie's never been. We applied.
Oh,
for him.
Okay.
We applied for him this morning after the Daily Gun Show, and he got his confirmation back before this show. So it's not all of his within a few hours. So I understand that you guys had some issues, but let's not suggest that there's always issues. It's once you know the process and you don't try to fight it, you just give them exactly what they want and you get into SHOT Show.
No, I wasn't suggesting it's an issue. I'm just saying that Clover and I, it took us about a week. So, you know, it is what it is.
Talking to people who haven't gone before, it doesn't have to be an ordeal. It can be.
Yeah.
They're not. They're there to make sure that media are going. They're not there to judge you as media.
Right. Yeah, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about is the different processes and some of the stuff that you gave Clover and I tips on how to transition, and then what we ended up hearing back from this guy himself about exactly what he was looking for. And once we got that, like I said, within 2 minutes of me sending that last email after him saying, here's what he's looking for, within 2 minutes, I got the approval. So maybe if you guys are still thinking about trying to get your credentials, in this hour or so, we'll be able to help you with getting that, because you've got three of us that have just gotten it for the first time, and obviously Pink and G have been going for a while, so they're the kind of veterans on the show. Yeah, so they're the veterans of it. Oh, okay. So it'd be kind of cool to talk about the different things that SHOT offers. and obviously it's a massive show and a lot of stuff going on. And we're going to talk about maybe how to attack, preparing for the show, what to do while you're there, and the different aspects of the SHOT Show that are outside of the actual show, with the range days and the parties and all that stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And if you guys are still interested in getting in to SHOT, obviously Smeggy just got in today, so they are still letting people in. So we'll talk about links and all of that stuff on how to get there. So Smeggy, this is your first year, and Pink, this will be your second. G's been going there for a long time. Pink and G, do you guys have any initial thoughts on the initial overwhelming shock of what SHOT Show is going to be for us newbies?
It's going to be different for everybody, but think of it as the long haul. It's 4 days, and you're going to be going for many years, hopefully. So don't try to do it all the first day. Don't try to do it all the first show. Don't try to do it all. Just get used to the fact that it's really big. I've been going since 2005, and there's no need to see every booth. But even if I wanted to see every booth, it wouldn't be possible because it is so large that the ones that drop off and get replaced by new people would be more than you could really hit every year. So there's a lot there, and you're never going to hit it all. So that's probably my first suggestion, is just realize that you're going to take a big bite out of it and pace yourself. Just take bites.
Yep. My first comment is going to be wear nice, comfortable shoes.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be doing a lot of walking. If I remember right, didn't you walk 13 miles one day, G?
Oh, yeah. I'll walk 9 miles plus a day usually.
Yeah.
All right. So, G, Pink, have you ever been to Wanamaker?
No, I haven't.
Tulsa? All right. G, since we were just in Wanamaker, can you kind of explain to us newbies and then everybody else out there? Oh, okay. Hold on here. Let me get Marco's looking for it. But can you express to everyone comparison to Wanamaker, the size of SHOT?
Yeah, let me see if I can figure out what the size. Let's see. The Sands Convention Center is 2.2 million square feet. So how many acres is 2.2 million square feet?
Holy cow! You're making me do math. Hold on. How many is it?
The internet does it. So the 2.25 million square feet is 51 acres. So if Tulsa Gun Show was 11 acres in that building, SHOT Show is about 5 times bigger, 4 or 5 times bigger.
Wow.
No, it's not in one giant building, so it won't look like that. It'll be 2 rooms that size stacked on top of each other. One of them is like an underground basement dwelling, and the other one is like that room, real big and up top. No windows.
Right.
That'll be like a cave. And then that would be, I'm going to guess, if it says that it's 51 acres, which seems a lot, then it would be, yeah, I guess that's right. So that would be probably 2 rooms that are twice as big as Tulsa, stacked on top of each other, and then another room or 2 as big as Tulsa that's chopped up into pieces and scattered down hallways that take you a little while to get your orientation on. But that's the law enforcement and police rooms, or I should say law enforcement and military rooms. So those are the rooms you're going to end up spending a lot of time in, as far as what you're probably more interested in. But it'll seem smaller because you're in these giant convention center rooms that can kind of be walled off with those fake walls and hallways and stuff. So if somebody wasn't using the whole place, they could just have a little piece, except they're using all of them. So it spreads out into hallways and stuff, which make it a little weird to navigate. But once you get your hang of it, it's basically going to be like 3 times the size and then 2 floors. So 2 floors that are 3 times the size of Tulsa.
All right, we've got a newcomer coming in, the digital prophet himself. What's up, Marco? We're talking about Smeggy and Clover and I just got our approval for SHOT for the first time. Well, I should say we're going for the first time. I don't know how many times Smeggy's got approved, but we're going to the first time to SHOT and just kind of talk about the process, how to attack it for newbies like us, and all that stuff. The extracurricular get-togethers. It's part of SHOT, but not part of SHOT. So welcome and thanks for joining us, Marco. Appreciate it. And he's muted.
So can somebody that's listening that knows Jimmy's number give him a text or something? Because Jimmy's got his pass too.
Oh, he did get his as well.
Yeah, invited him.
Yeah, he's not on the Gun Channel side, so I won't be able to send him a link. So yeah, if you guys can just text it to him, go for it.
I was definitely gonna say congrats to everybody who got in.
What's that now?
Congrats to everyone that got in.
Yeah, thanks. Well, we were just talking about for us that you hear these stories about SHOT, and I'm sure most of them are probably true, but just the overwhelming blah of what it is. But we're going to talk about a little bit here about when to show up. Do you need to show up Sunday or Monday, or is it better to show up on Monday afternoon or Tuesday? And which days are the days that if you're going to be there, but some people can't be there for the whole week. So are there like 2 or 3 days that are, those days are necessary to be there to where the most important to get the biggest bang for your buck? So, and then obviously the extracurricular parties and getting invited to those and the different shoots and all of that. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on that week.
You just asked a lot of different questions.
A lot.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not asking you to answer those right now. I'm just saying that's what we're going to talk about. So, but if you had something to give to us newbies, like your very initial thoughts, what would be probably the best piece of advice initially for us prepare for SHOT?
Well, I mean, like Pink said the obvious about shoes, and then like obviously my next thing is, even though they're comfortable, make sure they're broken in. You don't want to wear fucking like a brand new pair of like cross trainers, even though they're going to be super comfortable in the week. You're going to cry the first day about like while you're breaking them in. You kind of have a lot of questions and a lot of different, like, I guess you're trying to game plan this thing in a bunch of different ways. But my question to you is, what do you want to do at SHOT is really how you should look at as far as how you should be approaching SHOT. Are you going to be there mainly taking pictures? Are you mainly there going to be doing interview style videos? Are you just going to do quick second like pan throughs the booth? Whatever you're particularly going to want to do is going to really determine how you should prepare for it.
Yeah, and I can't speak for Smeggy or for Clover. My initial thought, not knowing about how it actually works, but my initial thought would be as many 2 or 3 minute little interviews, or let the vendor go through their little spiel that I can get on tape is great. If not, then at least if I don't have time to get them or they're too busy, then at least kind of doing a pan over myself of the product, taking some pictures. But I would love to get as many, 2 to 3 minute little spiels or interviews from as many people as I can get on the video side. That's kind of where I'm looking at. Like I said, I can't speak for Smeggy or for Clover, but that's kind of where I'm coming from. What are you guys looking for out of it?
Content. Yeah,
video content or just content?
It's content. It's a working trip. Yeah, I mean it's just going to depend. I mean, if it's approached with the sort of the same style as Wanamaker, then I mean you're going to interview who you can, and it's like you said, if you can't do that, be it they're tied up or whatever, then at least get some pans of the product and that sort of stuff, so you can put a little something together.
Well, if you're there to take pictures, always make sure it's allowed. You ask them if it's okay to take pics. Because some of the things that you might be taking pics of are prototypes that they don't want out yet.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
My other question to you, I guess the people that are trying to figure out like how to go about this is, so obviously you guys are talking about video and stuff like that. What's your camera setup? Think about what you're going to be carrying. Like, are you doing just everything off your phone? My biggest recommendation to anybody is have 3 to 4 battery packs. One, because you probably go through 2 at the show, and you might not even go home after the show.
Right.
Next question is, are you going to be that guy with the tripod? You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be just you, or are you and Clovertap going to team up and do videos together, and someone carries the camera, someone carries the tripod? There's just seeing how other people attack SHOT because they do videos. I mean,
hashtag
but usually it's like if you do like a tripod thing, it sucks to be a one-man team with a tripod. It really does.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go. I'm trying to get set up to where I can go phone with a gimbal for the most part.
Okay. So you so
Yeah, I'm gonna take my GoPro and my small little camcorder, my phone, and a tablet, and probably an additional phone that's not hooked up to the. I like what Tulliver's gonna do, but just have an additional phone that's got a camera that might not be hooked up to a network, but it's got the SD card and a good camera. So I don't know which ones I'd like to be able to do, but my phones and tablet will probably be the three things that I use primarily.
Yeah, I've already got three. In preparation for Tulsa, I've got three of the power banks, and I've got extra long cords, both mini USB and also Lightning. I got 10-foot, flat cables for those, so I can actually run those out of the backpack. They're long enough that I can run them from my pack into the device, and
talking about from a USB thing.
Yeah, the power banks or whatever.
Yeah, I double check, verify that ahead of time. Make sure yours work. I've got some long ones that I got on the trip, and the long ones.
Oh yeah. I use them for Wanamaker and all. So yeah, they work great.
Because my long ones don't always charge well. They do charge, but they take 3 times longer than a short cord.
I just got 3 little thumb ones that were given to me by a company as promo from a furniture company, and none of the 3 work. So they're all
really.
You said you have 3 of them. How many milliamps are they? I would tell you to probably get one more, especially if you're gonna do the gimbal, because you're probably gonna use at least 1, maybe 2 in the gimbal, and guaranteed 2 on your phone.
I've got 2 10s and a 20.
He's talking about the PVC thing, right, Clover?
No, I'm gonna actually get a gimbal.
Oh, so then you might need power for it then. I was gonna say that thing wasn't fine.
Yeah, you need power for that. So you're gonna.
Clover brought up a good thing. He said his backpack. Do you have a backpack, Ghost?
Yes, you need a backpack.
Oh yeah. I've got several backpacks. I've got 4 power banks myself, and I might even get another one just to make sure that there will be no issues with running out of juice.
Well, when you go there, make sure that your backpack is empty, except for your power banks and everything else, because you're going to come home with a bunch of stuff.
I cannot believe Webs has not said this, and this is the first thing he told me, and it's paid off dividends. Do not accept anything paper product wise. No catalogs, no flyers, no nothing. I don't care how much you like that company.
Up space.
You can it's space.
No,
and
wait.
It's space.
Oh wait, yeah.
Don't take anything paper. There's no need anymore, except for business cards. Take business cards, but you're still gonna get, a giant handful of business cards each day.
If you accept the catalog from every booth that you go to, by the end of the day, you walked around with an extra 40 pounds.
You can't walk around all day and collect paper. If you even collect one piece of paper, you'll have to stop at lunch and offload, and then you'll have to figure out where to put that, and then you'll have to go back and do that again later on in the day, and then you'll have twice as much shit to carry to your vehicle or wherever it is, and then you'll have to carry all that shit home.
Now, Marco showed me a cool trick. I had gotten a picture of Mikulik. He signed it and everything, and he grabbed a small catalog and stuck the picture inside the catalog just to preserve it. And that was the only catalog I went home with. Right.
Yeah, and if you get other pictures and all that, you can just kind of stuff from that same catalog, I guess, and just take one.
Well, you can get the SHOT Show. There's a SHOT Show newspaper thing, and it's bigger. It's like a Shotgun News. It's like the size of a Shotgun News. So if you're going to carry something, I guess you carry something use Marco's idea and do that. Then it's big enough to carry most large things, but don't pick up large things. That's the sucker bet. Pick that shit up on Friday.
Yeah.
They might be out of it by Friday. So if you're going to, I don't know. We haven't talked about plans for picking up free shit. That's a whole nother thing. Let me go back to bags though. I don't like backpacks. Stupid form factor for a show like this. If you're trying to go 25 miles and carry some stuff from one end to the other, backpacks are great. But you're walking around a trade show where you're going to be constantly going in and out of that thing. So I carry a very large messenger bag, which is basically just a large square bag with a shoulder strap from top corner to top corner, right? So it's real easy to throw over my shoulder, next to me, behind me, or in front of me. And then it's got a zipper I can get in without having to open the whole flap up or anything. It's super heavy duty, made in Texas with U.S. materials. So I can have that thing loaded with lead if I needed to. And I have, and it doesn't care. But when it's empty, it's nothing. And I think that form factor has worked for me since 2009 or something. And I'll never go back to a backpack.
You know, and that is a great suggestion with Christmas coming around the corner.
There you go.
You can ask for it for Christmas if your family doesn't know what to get you.
So I have one.
Yeah, and that's kind of
messenger
go
bag.
ahead, sorry.
Messenger bag from Spec Ops, 100% made in USA, very compliant, super well made. Yellow interior, so if you're looking for something that's real easy to see with the high contrast yellow, you can turn it inside out as an emergency thing if you had to. So you need a badge holder.
Yeah.
You get a badge in the mail. So walking around with a badge holder, or you're going to walk around with that badge. So you can either look like hey, it's my first time ever doing nothing, right? Or you can walk around like you've been there before by getting a decent badge holder. And ideally, if you get a badge holder,
like a lanyard and stuff.
People that go to trade shows for a living are going to have a badge holder always. Their wallet or their backpack or their messenger bag or their laptop bag or whatever. So, you know, it'll look worn in and you can kind of tell if somebody's, this is my first time to the city. Or if it's like, they do this for a living. So getting a what do you call it, a badge holder, and then you have it for NRA, you have it for Wanamaker, you have it for everything. I would say get a real one, like one made in USA, not some made in China based off of a plant, you know, a design that was made in the USA.
Yeah, well, that's and I remember I've seen videos from you about you know, stuff that you carry to SHOT Show or whatever, and that's, I think you have a pretty nice badge holder that's got a couple like back pockets and then a couple things for pens or whatever. It's like that stuff's real nice. And then everything you need is right there. You don't have to go digging through like a big bag just to grab a pen or grab a business card or something. You can put those in the little zipper pocket in the back and then hand them out when you need to.
I do use my
now,
badge.
When you say badge holder, you're not talking about like the clear vinyl stuff. You're talking about like kind of like a wallet type thing.
No, he's talking about what goes across your neck.
Yeah, the thing that basically just holds a piece of paper around your neck. Some of them are simply like the little plastic thing you get for free, right? The one that just
like the clear ones, yeah.
And those have basically like a piece of elastic holding it around your neck, like if it's disposable, because they are. And then you can get ones from like, I don't know, Expedition or somebody who makes garbage Chinese gear, right? They'll just give you one because they're trying to get their name out there. Theirs will have a little spot of Velcro, but then it'll have like, you know, their name really big on it or something. Then you can go to like Eagle or a company that makes stuff. Well, not Eagle anymore, but you can go to the companies that make nylon here, and theirs will, you know, be made here, so they'll be made better. And then they'll run the range. Any of them will run the range from just a simple envelope with a clear front, right? So you can put a badge in it and technically just have the badge in there instead of some garbage, you know, disposable thing. Or they'll go all the way up to some kind of fancy organizer. That's going to be up to you. I do use my badge holder to organize my business cards that I get from people, right? So as people give business cards to you, I'm a big dude. I sweat all the time. If I put them in pockets or whatever, then they get all sweaty and gross. And if I put them in my bag, they get lost because my bag's big. So for me, putting the business cards I get from people into my badge holder is handy. And then I also have the business cards that I'm handing out in there, so I don't have to go rummaging around for them. And it just equals out. As you give them out, you're getting new ones in.
All right, I'm sharing my screen right now. Is this something kind of like what you're talking about? This nylon thing right here, something like this?
No? I mean, technically that's the same thing, but hell no. I mean, if you were
that cheesy.
If you were
no, I'm just saying, but you're not talking about like the. I mean, this is something like this where it actually looks somewhat, you know, professional and all that. Something maybe even.
No, like
this is going to be like pants or boots or knives, right? Everybody's going to be a little different on them or whatever. I did a 17-minute video I did on them one year to try to help people out with their sucky badge decisions. But I like U.S. made. So pick a company that makes US made stuff. I got Spec Ops one. I've got Tactical Tailor, I'm sure makes them. Google used to give them away. We used to go, one of the things to do at SHOT is to get free stuff. One of the things you learn over the years is who gives out good free stuff. So that was one of the things that was good to go grab was the Eagle badge holders because they were made sometimes here. Blue Force Gear has them. Sometimes I don't know if they do them anymore.
Okay.
But what was this one?
Guys give them out all the
First Spear.
time. Everyone and their mother has a Geisley one.
That's a First Spear. Yeah, Geisley gives them out. Geisleys are made in China, aren't they?
I have no idea.
Okay, so here's a Shitty Expedition one that's trying to be like a Swiss Army thing. It's got like all kinds of crap going on, which is basically like you're one of those guys wearing like a drop leg holster and a giant wallet. So if you have need for a lot of stuff in your badge holder, then there are large ones, but most of them are the size of a SHOT Show badge, which is basically the size of a trade show media press badge. And they're kind of a standard size, so they're usually just that size window with some amount of Velcro around them.
And yeah, you can keep your own business cards and all that stuff in there as well. So that's probably something that you gotta look at also to.
So this one, it's
have everything in one.
Definitely.
I like that one right there. Yeah,
that's the one I carry around. That was made for us by. I think it was made for us by Spec Ops. No, by damn it. SO Spec Ops gear out of no, what the hell are they? Anyway, they were made for us by a place out of California one year. They were making them at SHOT Show. But it's nothing more than just that square plastic front and a pocket behind it and a piece of Velcro, no branding and no extra gizmos, so it's nice and clean. I personally think that's the best one to go for, but everybody has their own. It's just like I say, it's like pants or boots or something. Everybody's got their own goals from it. But anyway, it's something that's useful, and you got to wear a badge around. So
now, do you guys? Let me ask you this: the SHOT Show badges, they're not. I'm assuming they're not business card size. They're the longer, kind of the bigger media pass, right?
But they're going to fill this entire piece of plastic. That's the standard.
Okay, I got you. Gotcha.
So
okay.
You got to wear that around. So you either got to wear it around on their piece of disposable garbage or on something cool.
Yeah, you might have to, depending on your badge holder, you might have to fold it up creatively in order to
maybe fold an edge. Like you get a Chinese badge holder and you'll have to like fold an edge or fold the bottom down or something. Make it a little just small. I think the one Bob's talking about, that First Spear, was basically that really strong kind of like, I don't know what's it, like rubber man-made material. It's just like 2 or 3 layers of that. So it's super thin and durable, but it's like a weird envelope you got to like fold your badge into.
Yep. But it works.
So, you don't have to have a badge holder. I guess we got off into that one, but that's one of those things.
But that's something that's going to be important. It's stuff like that you can plan for all the big stuff you want, but if you're not prepared with the little things, then you're getting started off on the wrong foot anyway. So that's really good stuff. I like it.
Yeah, that's.
I wouldn't have thought of that, right away.
I've got one piece of advice that probably nobody's brought up, and that is the first day there, have your camera ready, because sometimes you see things that are not going to be around the second day, like say a couple of topless models with just like their stuff painted in camo.
Yeah, your fake naked chicks that Bob claims were there, but he didn't have his camera.
Believe you afterwards. Even though you saw it and followed them around for a bit, nobody will believe you afterwards. So make sure you've got your camera ready and take a picture.
Yeah, bring a camera to SHOT Show. Good one, Bob.
Yeah, I was not going to bring a camera, Bob. So I think
I had my camera. I just didn't think to take a picture because I thought they'd be there the next day and stuff. But no, apparently someone complained.
They complained of you stalking them, probably.
Never thought of that.
What were you going to say, Marco? Sorry.
I was going to tell Bob to shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Marco, you know how that works, right?
So if we're just talking general SHOT Show stuff, I put a bunch of stuff just off the top of my head over the side there. What to bring, what days to go, what to eat, what drugs to do before media room. Not before the media room, but what drugs to do before shot, and then separately the media room, planning booths ahead, then afterwards, and then what you're going to travel with as far as your guns.
Are we talking SHOT Show or a Grateful Dead concert at this point, though?
SHOT Show. So the drugs ones, I'm talking those like you can take when you travel, like they're heavy on the vitamin C and stuff, because you're going to go get the SHOT Show plate. When you go to that type of airports and that type of convention center, remember, there's not even a window in this freaking place. It is only the one exits and entrances and then a tube that takes you out to the little fake city that's in the hotel. Otherwise, you got one door to get into this place. And then there's, I guess, technically a door in back that sometimes the guys leave open because they go smoke out there. but literally it's what did we just say, 50 acres under roof, and you're in there breathing the same air as everybody. So you know, you're going to want to do like the vitamin C airborne, whatever it's called, like procedure for like a week. At least I start doing it like a week ahead of time, if not more. I try to eat real healthy, and then hopefully that lets you plow through a few days before you get the plague, and you're going to get it no matter what.
Yeah, that's not true. I never got sick, and I never did any of that stuff.
You're filthy Canadian. You're used to being in filthy Canada. We're used to being in
Last year,
I'm gonna Ohio. Hey, what's up, Tech Daddy? Thanks for joining us, man.
Another thing I always take is the like the arthritis pain relief. I always pop those before I go in there because with all that walking, your legs are going to ache.
Yeah,
And
right.
And I recommend not getting gout right before a giant convention show, if at all possible.
And
What's
it's
up,
all
guys?
good insoles.
What's up,
hey, Tack. Hey, Tack.
Just jumping in late. I apologize. I was dinner time.
Hey,
and
no
stuff.
worries, bro. It's kind of been one of those things where it's been kind of trying to find times with everyone and all that. So I just said, you know what, I'm just going to do it, and whoever shows up, shows up. I am going to share my screen for a second, and Ohio 45 just sent this link for a neck wallet from Tactile Tailor. This looks kind of
$20 multicam. It's got a lot going for it.
You know, so this is something that I'm definitely going to look at as well, and it's got OD green also if you want to do something like that, but and then black. So there are different options, but that's definitely something I'm going to be looking at.
It's in multicam, so unless they run out of multicam, who cares?
Right. Yeah. Basically, what's going on, Tack, is we're talking about, you got myself and Smeggy and Clover Tack are heading to SHOT Show this year for the first time, and we're talking about what to do, what not to do, where to go, how to do different things. Obviously, we've been talking about nice, comfortable shoes and all that. Do you have any, I know you've been going for a while, but do you have any suggestions or things for the newbies to either to plan for or just what to expect right off the bat?
I don't know what you covered, so forgive me if I double up. Apologize.
Oh, you're fine.
In advance. I was trying to log in and it booted me and I got back in, but I heard someone mention airborne. I went on a regiment like 5 days in advance last year and did not come home with anything.
Oh, wow.
And then again, I don't know if that's it, but I actually also wear a mil-spec monkey shamag kerchief thing, you know, the little neck kerchief that you can pull up over your face and it's got a skull on it. I religiously wear that on in the actual airplane. Like once I get on and I get settled in.
Once you've been past TSA.
Yep. There you go. Settle in. Once I've gotten a good feel up and a couple phone numbers, I move on to the plane and then I put that on. And it's kind of paranoid. It's kind of weird, but at the same time, again, man, I actually last year got sick prior to SHOT and showed up on like the last day of getting a little bit better. It was brutal. I was worried. I got onto the plane going to SHOT just in that like 80% zone where you're okay, but you got something. And so getting sick sucks, but it's that whole sanitizer and wash your hands a couple times a day, and you got to look out for that because there is a million germs as someone was mentioning. Did you mention options on the different ways to have accommodations there?
No, we literally just haven't kind of been going into the opening kind of ideas. We talked about yeah, so no, you haven't really missed a whole lot. We talked about getting for us to get like an ID badge holder, wallet, whatever you want to call it. Talking about backpacks and all the different cameras or power banks and shoes and all of that stuff. So we really haven't gotten into it.
So you're really into all the gear and necessity shit to have on you.
Yes, yeah.
Bottle of water.
And apparently we've been told not to take any paper catalogs or anything because at the end of the day you're going to have an extra 25, 30 pounds of weight in your backpack. So that's good to know because I probably would have grabbed everything if they would have given it to me at first, It's
cool to check out and have back at the hotel room every night, and then if you just leave a stack of shit, in the hotel or in the trash can when you leave, it is cool to look at some of the marketing materials, I think. But yeah, collecting them to hope to take them home. That's a lot of stuff you'll collect in that many days.
That's a good point, though, having them for your hotel or just to bullshit with other people or poke at or do a live show and hold it up to the camera, right? So maybe just a mental idea of where the stuff is, and then in the last half hour, go gather it, right, each night.
Right. And so you're not grabbing it all at once throughout the day and load it down the whole day.
You walk through SHOT Show and you're like, oh, these guys were saying it was huge. It's not that big because you only get into one room. You think you've seen it all. Like, oh, it's a big deal. So then you're like, oh yeah, I'll take that. Oh, really? Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, your whole catalog? Sure, thanks. And then you get like the first food court thing, and you're like, oh man, I'm done. Where's the car? And it's like 11 a.m. and you've been through like
2 hours. No doubt.
That's the thing too. Right, well, if there is specifically stuff that you want to look at, or even writing notes in catalogs and stuff might help jog your memory, or if you whatever you're setting up to do a video about something, it's nice to have the little picture there. But the idea is they will hand you everything from all directions at all times. Like everyone's just throwing paper at you.
All right, so what we're going to do now is... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pete.
Oh, I was going to say, another thing nobody's mentioned yet is chapstick.
Good call.
Because if you're going to range day, I know this past year it was windy, it was cold.
Yeah. You guys are all such pussies about chapstick. God.
Well, it's more that climate. Don't forget, you're in the desert, and if you're not drinking a ton of water,
I just never had a problem with this chapped lips thing. You guys are always.
It's all those booth babes want to kiss you for so long, and then you're like,
dang you, G Webs, you stole my joke.
Yeah,
but no, like the one thing, I mean, like, because I'm guessing most of you guys are from like the east or like southwest or whatever. But Vegas in January, like at least in my climate, it's like a brisk autumn morning and evening. So it's like one of those days. Like, remember walking to the bus stop as a kid and like you wore a heavy jacket because it was really cold and like early in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. Fuck up, Bob. And then you would and then you'd basically get off the bus at 3 o'clock and you'd be carrying this big ass down jacket because it's like 70 degrees in the middle of the day.
Right.
So just, like when you leave in the morning, it's probably not worth carrying a jacket, especially like depending how you're going to get to the actual event. At fucking range day, you're going to want to bundle up pretty well throughout the whole day because it was really windy last year. But anything that you go out in the evening for, like you were talking about extracurricular, like like activities or whatever, you definitely want a jacket for that.
Oh, jeez.
Right. Well, I mean, you also understand that it's all right, Bob. Not everyone's from Canada. But you're talking about the desert in January, and it can probably go 50-degree temperature swings like in a heartbeat on the desert. So, yeah, even if you are from a colder weather climate like Bob is, cold's cold, man.
But 50 ain't cold. That's t-shirt weather still.
It gets down to like the 40s.
But I've been in the desert in January before, and it can get down to really cold. So, I mean, you're in the desert, you can do a whole lot of stuff out there.
I'd put a light jacket on, but. Yeah,
he didn't
everyone's as tough as you are either.
50-degree change, so it's 70 at one point, and it's 20 at one point.
Right. I have been. Yeah, it's a lot different when you go 50-degree changes.
All
right, so the next.
Oh, sorry. I have Florida.
Oh, yeah,
blood,
you're good, man.
Yeah, I have Florida blood, so I'm good all day when we're inside, and then everyone's like, "Let's go out at night." And then, like, as soon as you're like waiting for a ride or doing something, I freeze my ass off no matter how cold it gets. Right. It's cold to me.
Yeah. All right. So the next topic we want to touch on is the schedule. Some people aren't able to be there the entire week. I know that the schedule that I got emailed to me, what it said looked like Sunday and Monday are kind of registration only. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then and it goes into Friday if you need it to be, but. If you've only got time to be there,
kind of thing or something, right?
Yeah, or something like that. I imagine it's just like pretty much any other kind of big gun show. Not everyone's going to be there Friday, or at least not there for the full day or something.
Hey, quick question: did you guys?
Go for it.
Or did you guys get approved for SHOT and Media Day? Because there is a difference.
Nobody gets approved for Media Day by registering, so we have to invite them.
Yeah, okay. No, there was no place to even apply for that. So,
right.
So
So we'll invite them and we'll see if that's a sure thing or what. But we had till the 23rd of December, so we'll invite you now that we know who all's going.
Right.
And that's something to kind of touch on. Maybe we'll do it after the schedule topic. We'll talk about the actual process of going through.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, let's go with the schedule thing.
The scheduling thing is going to be important because, like I said, for schedules or different reasons, maybe not everyone can be there Sunday through Friday. You might have 3 days and 2 nights that you have to choose between life taking over and schedules. If you had to choose like 3 days, would it be the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or would it be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? And everyone's going to have different opinions, obviously, but if you've got someone that is looking at 3 days and 2 nights, is there a better time slot that to maximize the boom effect? What do you guys think about that?
I think range day and 2 days of shot. That's my opinion.
And range days on Monday, is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, like in your case, because like we're gonna be the ones inviting you guys to media day and get you in that way. It's a lock. But like if you didn't have a plug to get in for media day,
right?
I would tell you differently. And also, like to me personally, I think it depends if you're coming from the east or if you're coming from the west. How many hours it actually takes you to get there, plus the time difference. Because if your flight is 3 hours and you have a 2-hour time change just to get there, so that's 5 hours gone there, and you're trying to get there, let's say Tuesday morning, just to do the event. You already lost 5 hours of sleep. You might as well try to get there the day before and at least get some rest, to do the show. But if you're so like if you're coming,
the math goes the other way there, Marco. If you're flying from the east, you're
actually
3 hours, and it's 2 hours go backwards. So you land like an hour after you left.
O'clock in the morning, you still have to and to leave like the house at your airport. You're waking up like 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right. So if you're not able to get into range day or anything on Monday, but you want to start covering Tuesday morning, it probably is smart to get there Monday afternoon or Monday evening. Anyways, get settled in, get your stuff ready to go for the next morning. Is that what you're saying? Is at least no matter what day you want to get there the afternoon prior to at least get settled in.
Because it also works out with hotels, because you really can't even. I mean, even if you do get there at 9 o'clock in the morning, no hotel's going to check you in at 9 o'clock in the morning without charging the other night's rent anyway. So, like, what's the point of like you're not going to walk around with like your entire suitcase for SHOT Show until like 3 o'clock, like before you can go check in. So,
well, that's a good point of being able to drop your bags off. Yeah.
So, hey, Tech, are you there all week usually, Tech, or are you do you?
I've done it a couple different ways, and actually, I'm actually going to do it even different this time. There is actually a secondary media day scheduled for the Sunday. So I'm going Saturday, and I agree. You get in the day or the afternoon before so you can at least get your clock set somewhat, get a good meal, and you take a shit, go to sleep. I mean, honestly, and then get up, eat fresh in the morning because you're going to be ahead of time if you're an East Coaster, obviously. You're going to be up a crack of dawn, and then you can, take care of business that first day. And yeah, Tuesday is the rush day. Tuesday morning from 8 o'clock till noon is the biggest mass of humanity of the whole thing, in my opinion.
So Tuesday's the madhouse, huh?
Tuesday morning, 100%. Does everyone agree with that, Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah.
G?
I personally never get there on time either. If the show starts at 9 o'clock, I don't leave wherever I'm staying until 9:30.
Well, everybody's got different goals there. So
yeah,
the show starts Tuesday morning, right? And it's an industry trade show. So we're talking about it from the media point of view mostly, but it's an industry trade show. So it's mostly so that manufacturers can talk to distributors and they can both talk to end sellers, stores, and things like that. So people are there to do business or whatever. There's people that are not at work so that they can go to SHOT, and they don't go to SHOT for 4 days. They go to SHOT to do their thing and then go home. So a lot of those guys get there for 1 day, 2 days, and unless some of them, they're just part of the crowd. Like they're not really in our way. They're just there. But I don't think we realize that it's not like however many people go to SHOT, 50,000 people or something. It's not like they're all 50,000 people in that room every day. There's probably 10,000 people in that room, but they cycle through. Some people show up for hours. I know gun shop owners, they can go there for hours, get their stuff done, and and they leave. They think of it as a chore because they don't want to go there to see the sights. Then there's guys that'll go there for the whole weekend, or the buyers will be there for 2 days, the owners will be there for 2 days, and then their kids, you know, they're guys that they're given like a vacation to, they'll stay there the whole week. You know, there's all different kinds of variations. So that Tuesday is definitely the first day. So like anything, the first day is when new products are released and free stuff is plentiful. So Marco doesn't care about getting the free stuff, but if you're into swag, it goes up and down. There's, you know, wanes with how, I don't know how it, you know, I've never really thought about how it works out, but there's some years where everybody's giving everything away. It's really, you know, bounty year. And then there's years that it's dry and you can't even get a patch anywhere. So if you're one of the people that likes to get swag for whatever reason, then being there Tuesday morning is the time to be there. All
right, so let me ask you this then. If the gates open at 8:30 in the morning, let's say, I'm not sure exactly what the schedule is. Let's say it's 8:30 in the morning, the doors open. How crazy are the lines? I mean, how early should someone get there to be able to get in there without having to wait forever? I mean, are there huge lines to get in? Are there multiple entrances or what?
There's one door to get in. It's a good question. There's one door to get in, and you can either get in from like like the cab drop off or the bus drop off, the main doors. Like if there was a event going on there and people were just getting dropped off by taxi cabs. So there's that door, and then you can walk in from the fancy hotel next door. They have like this little fake town, and then it's connected by a couple of tubes to this convention center. So a lot of people will walk through from the strip or get dropped off at the front of the hotel to save time or something and walk through the casino and then walk through that fake town and then walk through the tubes.
According to Marco, according to G-Webs, it's like forever, like 8 miles or something like that. What's that walk?
It's pretty long. It's pretty long. I mean, it's not a shortcut unless you're staying in that hotel, but people stay in that hotel. You stayed in that hotel.
I'm staying there this time.
So that's, you know, that's the, anyway, so there's only really one way to
get
Venetian, right? What?
Right. Well, there's also the one that's connected to it. What's the other one? Bellagio. That's the other one that's connected to it.
Bellagio, yeah. Okay.
So basically, there's the one door to get in. To answer your question,
Monte Carlo.
Bellagio must be somewhere else. I don't know what time the doors open. I think it might be 8:30 or something like that. So if they open at 8:30, you need to get there at like 7 to be standing there next to the door, and people will, because they want to get their free swag. You know, if Benchmade is giving out something and they're Benchmade collectors, or Spyderco is going to have a pin or something and they're Spyderco collectors, they'll people be camped out there. Your media badge won't get you in. It is possible to sneak in, but it's really an effort and it's really not worth it because there's nothing going on. I've been in there early and there's really, everybody's running around trying to get their shit together. So there's no opportunity to do nothing except get in their way. So, you know, so basically you got to stand out front with them. And then if you get there, like Marco said, right at 9, good luck. You're not going to get in there till 9:45. Even if the lines are efficient, just because there's a herd of people smearing in.
The swag will be gone by then, probably.
No, I wouldn't go around saying that either. I mean, it depends. Like I say, I've been there a year. I've got really good swag, and I don't go around really looking for it anymore. So sometimes you just happen to see it. Sometimes they ration it. Sometimes people just ain't looking for the swag you're looking for. Yeah. And it's a giant place. It's 50-something acres. So people are all going to different places first. But we're media, so we can go to the media room first. So we can go up. We can get in there anytime we want in the morning and stage how we want. They're eating free biscuits and whatnot.
When you say we, are you saying pretty much everyone on this call has a media badge of some sort?
Everybody in this panel has a media pass. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The great thing about the media room is the refreshments.
Mm-hmm. And you can basically hang out there. You can like, oh, I need a break. You just go up. Like, oh, I need a break. You just go up.
Yeah, but eventually Yankee's going to be there. That's the problem with that. So you have to like keep it moving.
Eventually, from what I hear, Yankee never leaves there.
He has like kind of a tent area. But no, I go in there and I grab a couple of waters and a couple of bottled drinks.
Yeah.
And boom, boom, boom.
You don't need to take water with you because there'll always be water there. And if anything, I usually take.
I carry a water around. What if fucking the lights go out and you're stuck in there?
No, I'm saying, but I take water from there. I just don't show up to the show with the water because I'll go there first usually, grab my 2 or 3 bottles of water, and walk around for the rest of the day.
Yes, you don't have to bring water from the outside. Just go ahead to the media room, grab your water, and you're good to go. I got you.
Don't be ridiculous. You're walking into a giant building in Vegas with the potential of freaking terrorism all the way to like accidents, right? So no, you're always going to have some bottle of water on you. So You don't need
No.
Don't
I
drink
think what
water. That's
Marco's
my
saying is
plan.
he doesn't bring it with him from the hotel. He gets it when
Yes,
he gets
I
to
do.
the media
I
room.
always have a bottle of water with me in Vegas, is what I'm saying. So yes, I will bring a bottle of water with
I
me,
got you.
even though I technically don't need to, because if I get stuck in a hallway in Vegas, I want at least one bottle of water.
I always carry the water additive too.
Yeah, but
I'm
that's
agreeing with him.
You're going to go
100%.
there, drink that water or whatever, and then basically they're there to make us comfortable. So they're there to provide us with water, and they're throwing it away at the end. Like there's definitely no shortage of waters or sodas or nothing.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing that I think we're leaving out here is there's little bottles of orange juice and apple juice and cranberry juice, and there's coffee, and there's I think they bring in snacks in the afternoon. I've never experienced that, but I've heard that they bring in like
There's snacks like 3
danishes and
times
stuff.
a day. There's
Okay,
snacks
see,
3
I'm
times a day,
never
but
there
all
for
these
that.
old guys who are writers and don't have any kind of ambition or like, there's no time frame. They can go down there whenever they want and walk back up. They know when the food comes out. So right away in the morning when the media room first opens, there's usually donuts and bagels kind of food. Somewhere around lunchtime, they'll bring out like vegetables and fruits and cheese kind of food. And then at night, it'll be more like donuts and shit kind of stuff again. And it'll be gone like as soon as they pull it out. That's right.
Pancakes.
Yankee
What?
always eat.
So you just got to stick around in those chairs and wait and wait and wait. And they'll only bring out like one tray. I don't know why. They really need to just feed us and they'd have us all in their pockets, but they don't. But drinks you definitely get. And here's the other thing that's a good tip. You can go up there, down a thing of water, and then fill the water with coffee. And then you got coffee to walk around with the rest of the day that you don't have to pay for.
Yeah.
There you go.
Coffee.
I got a question for you guys, and this is something from the media side is going to be kind of crucial for while you're there. Is Wi-Fi available? Is it free? Is it worth it? Or is there a Wi-Fi you can pay for? Or I mean, how good is the Wi-Fi?
There's nothing to pay for. It's effectively not working, and it's different every year. So as soon as we said that, it'll be perfect, brand new free Wi-Fi this year. But eventually,
service. It's like
Wi-Fi, but
$27 a day to pay for their Wi-Fi. So like no one really does it, and your cell service is going to go to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bounced off of my cell last year, didn't you, Marco?
Yeah,
and
so like
you don't want to live.
I am in the building.
You're going to be walking around with dudes who are SEALs and Green Berets and freaking Delta and fucking doom on you if you fucking videotape them. You know what I mean?
I understand that.
Some fucking Al Qaeda ISIS motherfucking kills one of them. I mean, what the fuck? You don't walk around shot shit.
No. I'm not talking about doing live stuff. I'm talking about like when you're in the media room and you want to upload something or whatever, or so the Wi-Fi just kind of go against. Don't plan on Wi-Fi then, right?
Ooh, can I?
No,
can
there's
I?
Wi-Fi in the media room. I thought you said it's in shot, but in the media room there's Wi-Fi.
No, I'm talking about the media room. No. I'm not talking about in the shot. No, I'm talking about in the media room. Is it Wi-Fi there?
We've uploaded from there.
Okay.
Yeah, we did a live show from the media room.
Yeah, we've done live shows from the hallways next to the media room too. Yeah, so we're good up there.
Can I offer a comment and you can take it or leave it? You can always
sure,
take
man.
my comments or leave them, but the idea, and I get it because it's exciting and it's cool and it's fun. But what I have seen personally is that there's been years there when I raced to be first, to have that plan, to be able to get that new product and upload it quick or get back to the hotel and cut a video quick and get it up. I've had times where I've uploaded, 20 videos during the week and 15 afterwards. I've had shot shows where I went and didn't upload anything and then got home and did it all. Right. The race is not as fun as enjoying SHOT Show and reporting back afterwards. I'm just talking out loud here, no one in particular. For those that are, again, in it to win it and they've got some incentive to get something broken news before everybody else, have at it. I get it. There are definitely views in that, but I personally will tell you that I've had way more fun when you go knowing that eventually you'll show that and you'll do it. Like the Hudson 9's a perfect example. Go tell me who showed it first. You can't. You don't remember.
Right.
No one remembers.
Right.
Whether you showed it from the range live or whether you did a review or whether you got it in your range 6 months later.
Yeah, and that's going to be my thing is, yeah.
For a newbie,
go ahead.
have a plan. Go get your footage. Get back to the hotel. Upload what you like. But don't kill yourself. I've watched people and I talked to them like 2 days in, and they're like, oh, it was up till 3 editing. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. Yeah, my plan and was never to upload anything while I was there. Mine was going to go there, get as much footage as I can, get home, get in the editing room, and try to create as much quality content. And if it takes a month to get everything out, it takes a month to get everything out. But my plan is not to be the first to get anything out there. It's going to be more quality than quantity, and it's going to be one of those where I'm going to get all the footage I can, and if I've got 4 hours of footage and I split them up into 3-minute segments, then I've got content for a while, or whatever the case may be. But I don't see myself doing a whole lot personally while I'm there, unless there's just something that, oh man, I can't wait to get this out. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and get this one video out or something. But I don't plan on doing a whole lot while I'm there. I just want to get there. Like you said, enjoy it, absorb everything that I can, and worry about the rest when you get home. That's my plan. Now that might change, but that's the plan.
Well,
Clover, what's your plan? I'm sorry, G, what's that?
I don't plan on, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to throw out there, you got Instagram, so we can all be first with our stuff on Instagram real easy.
Right. Yeah.
Instagram from the floor is enough bandwidth for a picture.
That's the other thing. The game has changed. The live stuff and the Instagram has definitely become way more prominent than YouTube video produced.
Yeah, the problem, like G was saying though, is it, unless you're in the media room going live, that might not be the best idea unless you're in a corner and you make sure you got no one behind you that doesn't need to be seen. Yeah, I can see where it could be a sticky situation going live.
I'll give you my experience on. I'll give you my experience on that, and that is it's spotty all over the place. But if you're Verizon, good luck.
Yeah, I'm AT&T. Thank goodness.
AT&T, I have no problem connecting in most spots while I'm there. But you just don't go to the back corner where the food thing is in the big, huge conference room surrounded by cement with all that other activity in that room and expect to have a solid stream. There are some spots that are pretty high.
I always cover my phone in tinfoil to make the reception bounce off it better and then beam out into space. So I find that works.
The other thing is there are, again, G, help me on this. I found that, like NRA has their big, huge broadcast setup, and usually somebody else does. And I have found that there are some pretty strong wireless signals near those types of activities.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that's a good point, because there will be big time media.
Brownells. It was like Brownell. I think it was Brownells and NRA that I noticed that the signals were very strong around there.
Because they've got their own Wi-Fi.
They're pushing out. Yeah, they're pushing out over some sort of booster. Yeah.
They probably have a cord, and then they got their own little hotspots in there. And that makes sense. Probably any of those booths that are. See, that's the difference. We're talking about what it was size-wise compared to the Tulsa gun show, which is like 11 acres indoors. They tell us that SHOT Show is 50-something acres indoors under roof. So the big difference is that the SHOT Show booths can be freaking massive. Imagine like one of them foldable islands of tables being like a little building, like a little Glock set of rooms, or like the Brownells little building with an upstairs and shit. And some of the bigger companies like Gunbroker and stuff will make little two-story little rooms and have billboards hanging up on them and stuff.
Well, and sometimes they'll have that stuff so that because like you said, it's the show is for business getting done. That's one of the things I know. A lot of people, they see the coverage and like, oh man, SHOT Show looks awesome. I really want to go. If you're just going around to sightsee, NRA shows for that works out way better. But SHOT Show, it's like they probably have rooms so they can go talk confidentiality and sign contracts and do business. So they have a little bit different setup.
Yeah, but keep on too. If they want to talk to us about doing business with us as media, then they take us in the little rooms too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Ohio 45 wants to know: does the SHOT Show phone app help? Does anybody have any experience with the phone app?
It's not consistent.
Is it garbage? Okay.
Yeah, it's not consistent. When it was brand new, it was definitely interesting and useful compared to nothing, but it doesn't give you like routes. Everybody's got their own way of doing SHOT, their own things to do there. If you only got 4 things to do all week, that's different than somebody who's trying to get as much as they can done all 4 days, each day.
Sure.
So it is what it is. You don't need it though, because unless it's something that you're savvy with, you're familiar with, maybe this year they do something good with it, so it's easy to use. check it out. It's a resource worth checking out, but dismiss it if it doesn't work out well for you, because they have these little kiosks everywhere that are like little touchscreen little things that tell you where everything is. Plus, there's almost always a human being who's usually half an idiot, but at least standing there to kind of point at stuff for you. So if the worst case scenario is you get lost someplace, you just have to look around for one of these little
I love those little old ladies. You're crazy. They're super nice, and they can always point you at least in the right direction.
Yeah, they can send you to the bathroom and the food easy, but the stuff like, do you know where Glock is? They're like, by typing in.
What's Glock?
Yeah, they just don't. They're there for the building, not the show.
Oh, you mean booth E7469900? Yeah, we know where that is.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming that when you get there, there will be some sort of a map or directory that kind of lists where, or at least booth numbers or whatever for most of them. It's all online.
Well,
it's all on the site.
That's what the app does. And then, you can check it out ahead of time. Give yourself some idea. I don't know. Tech has gone more recently for the first time than me in Pink and Marco, I suppose. Do you really think it's worth going in and trying to find Glock and Surefire and something else? Or is it better just go in there and wander for a day or two and then start figuring out targets that you need to get?
See, I use the app as, I would highlight the booths that I wanted to see for that week. And the thing with the app is, if you visit it, you can check it off.
Right.
And, I used it more like a calendar type thing.
See, I did the same thing. I did all that planning, and then when I got on site, I couldn't get a good enough signal on the app.
Oh, okay.
No, the app
was my problem.
The signal was good enough for the app for me. I mainly used it just to like reorientate myself. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I knew where Glock was, but let's just say Pink said, "Oh, meet me over by Smith & Wesson," and I hadn't been by the Smith & Wesson, nor do I know where it is. And I'd be like, then I'd go to the app and look for it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. And then you can kind of see, it's 3 aisles down from Glock. Okay, I know where Glock is. I'll go 3 aisles down.
Well, then, like Glock will have Glock, and then they'll have Glock law enforcement. And then if it's something like Remington, they'll have Remington, and then Remington hunting, and then Remington boots, and then Remington law enforcement or something. So sometimes you can't just say, look for the Smith & Wesson, because, now I'm at Smith & Wesson knives. What the hell? You're at Smith & Wesson revolvers.
Good point.
Yeah. And I think a good point, which just brought up a second ago, is in the question that you posed to TAC, but, and I guess it'd be different for everybody, but I mean, how long is it a half a day, like Tuesday morning, that you're going to go and just walk around and kind of get
a good question.
Where the hell you are before you even start looking at different booths? Or
see, the thing is, you have this. Okay, so there's 2 floors, and if you start on the bottom floor, that's where like to the left, you go back, and there's a huge, massive room, and that's all the import stuff and there's a lot of other gun companies down there too, but it's totally different than the main room that's directly above it upstairs,
right?
Which is all the headliners and all the other stuff,
right?
Familiarity, I wanted to mention too. If you've been before, most of the big boys are in the same spots every time.
Yeah, 99% of the show is the same every single year. Now, it has been for like 7 years. Yeah,
right. So those 2. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pete. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I
was gonna say those 2 main rooms alone. I mean, God, you could wander. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just pausing. I think the one stat they came up with was if you wanted to stop at every single booth, you would be 3 seconds. 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds. The whole thing to get the whole show in the time that's allotted. Something like that. It was crazy. There's just not enough time.
Right.
Then you have this whole military. Law enforcement area, then you have the new products area, then there's a whole nother section of regular companies. So it's and again, the upstairs and the downstairs that I talked about at the beginning are massive.
Yeah. Now you said like the new products area, is that typically first thing Tuesday morning? Is that where a lot of people go thinking that they're gonna see all the new product first, or is that something that
suckers, new people and suckers who don't have anybody to ask?
Right. No cameras.
That's why we're here.
No cameras allowed. No videography allowed. Why would you go?
that's pointless. But it takes you like this whole procedure, and I think they ID'd you and like made sure it verified you, pat you down, give you an anal search, and then you go in there and you waste your time walking through this like path.
Right.
It's horrible. It's like
the anal search is uncomfortable, and they have it all on video because the guy who stole the optic last year, that's where they videotaped him stealing it from.
Oh yeah, exactly. So
remember that guy?
Most pointless little. The NSSF is old. They're the second oldest NRA as far as industry and gun Second Amendment type of corporate organizations. But that doesn't make them right or good. They're idiots, and they do this, which is nice, but it could be done very much better. And that's just the new products thing is one part of that. I guess literally if you're like a gun shop owner and you don't give a shit about taking a picture, then the new products area is probably cool, and you probably feel like really official having like a strip search before you go in there, and you feel like you do everything before any of your customers, and that's probably valuable, right? But for us, it's like, yeah, it's the petting zoo of SHOT Show. Don't bother with it.
I got you. Okay.
Oh, I went in there like every day. Gods.
That's because you like the anal searches. I mean, that's just it is what it is. You know.
The other thing you'll get.
Don't judge, man. Don't judge.
I'm not
the other
judging.
thing that you'll get as a result of registering is one of my favorite vocabulary words, a plethora of emails prior to SHOT.
Oh yeah,
from every
I've
vendor.
already gotten several, or I had 4 or 5 like yesterday or Wednesday, I should say.
Yeah, they
them
wanted
now, so you don't have to get used to it.
Yeah,
yeah. There's a lot coming, and you have to pick and choose really what you want to do about that.
Yeah.
Just remember, they send them to everybody. That's
absolutely
the first rule.
Absolutely. Smeggy Clover, I kind of feel like I'm dead. I'm kind of dominating this thing. Do you guys have any questions specifically that y'all want to ask these guys?
Well, like I said, I kind of did want to get into the actual process of registering.
Absolutely.
We kind of touched on it.
That's going to be something that could be very interesting, because I think all of us here have probably had different experiences with getting registered and all that. So yeah, go for it, Smeg.
All right. Well, I don't even know exactly what it is because G-Webs helps me with it, but so maybe you guys would have more insight, because I guess you had to kind of go back and forth of stuff they were looking for. But I guess the basic of if you're going in as media, you pretty much have to, you fill out the thing, and you basically have to kind of tell them, like, prove that you're actually some type of media person. You're not just, like I said, a sightseer or someone on vacation. Like, you are trying to, be media and produce content and whatnot.
Yeah, the problem that I personally had was when I sent the email and registered and all that, and asked for different links and all of that. I had sent them links to blogs that I've written, a published article that I'd written a couple of years ago, links to my YouTube channel with specific links to gear reviews, all this different stuff. And it took them like 4 days to even acknowledge that anything had happened, which was, it is what it is.
Well, you
finally
also
get an email back.
Did you register like as soon as it opened?
I registered. Well, I can tell you. No, I did not know. I registered.
I was just curious if maybe
I would say like the 15th, roughly.
Okay, their first week might be everyone's doing it, so then they're overworked. Whereas I did it this afternoon, and I got a response back a couple hours later. So they're probably
I
not
want to say
processing
roughly
as
it
many
was like the
requests
15th or
now.
so. So yeah. No, mine was let's say like last. Well, I can tell you exactly when it was. It was last Wednesday. So it's been it was over a week. So it was last Monday, a week ago last Monday. So I finally got approved on Tuesday, the week after. So it was last Monday. So yeah, it took me about 8 days. But 4 of those days were coming from nothing. I mean, I heard nothing from them except for the initial email. It's pending, I got NSSF was pretty easy. At first it was pending. They asked for a little bit more information. I called, and the girl left me her phone number to call. So I called her, asked her exactly what I was supposed to send. She said, here's exactly what I need. So I sent it to her, and literally 1 minute later, she sent that approved. SHOT Show took me 4 days to even get anything back from them. And its guy's name was, well, I'm not going to go over who the guy's name was, but it was the same guy that Clover went through. He said, I need to see links from specific gear reviews. Well, the problem is I'd already sent those to him, but he didn't either have the time or didn't bother to look at the links that I sent him. So I resent those exact links to him, and it took another couple of days to hear back. Now that was a weekend. Maybe it was one of those things. So I finally heard back from him. He said, well, we're having issues with finding that you're a legitimate thing. I'm like, well, I've sent you my website. I've sent you my YouTube page, my Instagram, my Facebook, my VidMe. I've spent all this down, my blog page and everything else. And he said, well, blah, blah, blah. So I went in and kind of manufactured my description a little bit differently on my YouTubes, where instead of having my credits kind of down towards the middle, I put them right up top, right up top, crediting my name and email and all that. Resent those links to them, and literally 2 minutes later, you're approved. So it was an ordeal and all that. And I know Clover had a similar story with a little bit different thing, because Clover actually had more to the send than I did. So Clover, what was your experience like?
Well, the NSSF was easy. I mean, I took with NSSF and SHOT. I took and I put my stuff in a PDF packet, and it was all right there. All you had to do was open a PDF, scroll through it, and pretty much there everything was with links and everything else. NSSF was easy. I don't know how long it took, but I mean, it took literally no time for that. The SHOT, I got a reply back pretty quick. Like I want to say the next day or something, at least a couple of days at most. And went round and around, back and forth with email with that guy, same guy that you did, Ghost, pretty much all day, and was to the point that I really figured it wasn't going to happen, honestly, when I went to bed that night, and then woke up the next morning and there it was. But it, it was like they had people looking it over that wasn't familiar with media almost,
right.
or how this new media works, how YouTube works, and how social media works, and how all of this stuff works. That's what it was pretty apparent that guy was not technically savvy, wasn't up to speed on all of that, and that's fine. I mean, that's not his job. And they didn't articulate what they were wanting in a way. In other words, they were speaking Spanish and I was speaking English, and I didn't understand them and they didn't understand me, I think was part of what's going on. So I think that they were overlooking things. And at one time, I mean, I was frustrated, he was frustrated, and there was some back and forth that you could definitely tell that there was frustration going on. But I mean, it was still a civil, back and forth. And he was like, well, I look at, 100 of I'm looking at 100 of these a day, and then I'm thinking, well, you jackwagon, if you're looking at 100 a day, then take some time and actually look through them, because this back and forth with me is time you could be spending on something else. But ultimately what it was, I got the same thing. I keep getting this kickback, and they're like, well, that's not enough. Well, that's not enough. And then, G had said before, because I was getting frustrated, because G said, and in fact, he said it earlier, I think, on the private thing, that it wasn't a big deal. They just want to see that your media, whatever. I feel like, I had a cavity search, with them. I mean, I feel that they were scrutinizing every little thing I was sending them. That's just the way I felt through the whole process.
Right.
But then it ended up, finally it came around, and that's where I'd called you and said, hey, I finally had this guy tell me to go do this, which is writing the credit in the description. Well, I know good and well on G's videos, he ain't got his name and all in the freaking description as a credit, because G don't do that. But so I'm thinking, well, why do I got to do that?
You don't have to do it permanently. Like I said, that's what they use as an indication, a validator that you have access to that YouTube channel. And as long as you put it on a video that's got whatever their criteria is now, 1,000 views, then that shows that you've done what they needed. They don't care if you go back and remove it afterwards.
You just got to do it to make them happy. Yeah, that's
right.
That's
so
what
that's
I did,
one of those almost like the little tricks or little secret, is that you got to put
Yeah.
You know, your name would
I
have to
put
protect
the
it
way I put it at the
on
very
something.
top of my description, and I've actually got it at the bottom of the description now. It's in my defaults. That way, it's just there. And if this ever comes up again, I can just move it. Maybe they'll see it, but if not, I can just move it because it's not a big deal being there. But I put this is a CloverTac Productions. This is CloverTac Productions, whatever original content credit, and then my name, and then my email underneath that. And I did that, and then it was literally 15 minutes. You know, he got it back, and he said, "Okay, well, I've received this now, and you know, we'll take a look at it again." And then, like I said, I didn't hear anything. That was 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and I didn't hear anything till the next morning. But it went through. So yeah, it was seriously like I was sending them all of this stuff, kind of like Ghost was saying, from articles that had been published to blog posts to websites to whatever. And the only thing they cared about was seeing my name in the description on the video. That's all they cared about.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But the way that they put it out there in the wording on the registration and all that is that you need to provide, and the way, even in the emails, was that it was like they were looking for more than that. It was like I wasn't giving them enough.
Yeah.
So like I said, and maybe it's because of the helpful experience, but
part of it is the barrier to just anybody, right? To create some sort of a threshold, and then some of it is to show some familiarity with the topic. So I think the thing to take away is that everybody's experience is going to be different, but that they are accepting usually about 2,500 slots for media. And as long as everybody's not a nuisance, then they seem to be pro media right now. They've gone back and forth over the years, and this year all indications are that they're pretty much pro media. So it's something that you do need to prepare ahead of time for, and we're at the end of the window. But it is something that I think we're all trying to encourage people who might be creating content out there. It's not that they judge the goodness of your content or the professionalism of it. They're just checking to see that you are actually.
They don't watch what you do.
Right.
They definitely don't, because they don't even read through the PDF you send or click on the links that you provide. So they're definitely not watching it.
And it's one of those things that Gina were talking, and I was kind of getting, whenever I got my thing, I told him I was getting really frustrated because I kept going back and forth with this guy, and then some days it would take 2 or 3 days even to hear from him. And I told G, and I was like, it almost got to the point where I was like, screw it, it's not worth it, And that might be part of this also, is until you figure out the right way to attack this and the certain things that you have to do, maybe that's something they are trying to do is to keep the people away that really don't want to be there away. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know.
I can throw in another one for your consideration. If you're considering this, is again, within the media, I'm hearing more and more that people are not going. So there's definitely spots open, or at least opening up as a result of people who used to go choosing not to go.
It used to be free candy. You used to be able to go to SHOT Show and get all kinds of free stuff, and then make all kinds of arrangements to get more free stuff, better free stuff. And then you'd go make videos about all your free stuff, and then YouTube paid you. So it was awesome. Right. And then if you were making side deals and having somebody pay for your way, dude, you were making money going to SHOT Show. And as soon as that free candy tap turned off, and it takes actual effort or maybe some even dedication to the Second Amendment to get information out from companies that can't afford to promote, then all of a sudden you're going to see people go, oh, SHOT Show isn't for me.
Yeah. So is that one of the reasons why some of the people aren't going that used to go every year, is because it's changed, or is it not worth trying to raise the money to get out there, or is it, or what has changed? What has changed?
To go anymore. It's not like YouTube. If you just make a bunch of interesting videos, YouTube's paying you. So SHOT Show gives you a bunch of things to make videos of. Then it costs a lot of money to go to SHOT Show.
Right.
It's either a business or a hobby, and at that point, you need to make that decision on what your hobby is worth investing in and where you're going to get those funds from. And if it's a business, it's part of the business.
But that's people that aren't going, right? So there's people that aren't going. So when you look at it as a business, now you're not going to have much luck walking up to a booth and saying, "I've got my camera. Do you got your checkbook or your wallet?"
Right.
Right. But you can potentially start making some networking and some interactions and stuff. And if you look at it, it's going to cost you, let's say $1,000 to go to SHOT Show. Divide that up into $100. So now that's what, $100. So if it's going to cost you $1,000 to go, start looking at it as trying to do $100 projects at SHOT Show. And there's fewer and fewer of the people that used to go to SHOT Show to just take videos, and then they would be the main avenue for videos. Like Tack was saying earlier, who knows who did the first video of anything? Gen 5 Glock, Hudson, freaking Silencer, Co-Maxim. Nobody knows, because there's just so much coverage out there. So the same question, who does the best coverage of SHOT Show? There's no answer. There's tons of coverage of SHOT Show. So $100 to somebody who's spending $5,000 for the booth, I don't know, however many thousands of dollars to get a bunch of people there, however many thousands of dollars it costs to get that booth set up. Do you really think $100 is like, oh, no, that's where we draw the line? $100 to have your camera pointed at us? Hell no. Right. So if you can do $10, $100 deals and keep SHOT Show costs under $1,000, it can be more than just a hobby.
Yeah, sure.
I'll take that.
Go ahead.
I'll take that one crack and go down a marketing minute for less than a minute. You would never.
Yeah. Well, I was getting ready to ask you your experience with that. So you have as much time as you want, man.
Well, this concept I'd like to get across. You would never walk up to a girl at the bar and say, hey, let's go back to my place and have sex, unless you were just one of those assholes, and you're either going to get smacked or 1 out of 1,000,000 you're going to get lucky. So if you have a lot of time, great, go for it. You're going to go up, you're going to introduce yourself, you're going to say, hey, let's have some conversation. Maybe you buy a drink, maybe you get a phone number. Then maybe there's a phone call. Then maybe after the phone call there's another date. Then maybe you get together and have some interaction. Great. You got to look at these companies the same thing. You're walking up and introducing yourself. Do you want to introduce yourself to get this thing going, or do you want to jump into bed with these people? If you try to jump into bed, you will be less well received.
Right.
Or
I've seen it time and time again.
To use that analogy, the only people that will take you up on it are
the whores.
Yeah, exactly.
Are the whores.
And that's the worst experience to start off with, really, too.
So if you want to keep reviewing, $2 Chinese flashlights on your channel or whatever, that they just keep sending you all this crap, well, then you can do that. They're throwing the stuff at you, but you don't really want to.
I guarantee that we're not going to be the only newbies out there, or ones that are looking for quote unquote those deals. So they'll probably be able to sniff out those guys pretty easily, I'd imagine, as well.
Well, there's 2,500 people going as media. So of that 2,500, how many of them have been going for more than 10 years? Half, maybe more. How many have been going more than 5 years? Probably 80-90% of them. So there's some new media each year. It's not enough that anybody notices them unless you're making a big ass nuisance of yourself or you do something crazy to get in trouble. And even then, I can't think of any instances except for some stuff that we happen to know because we're in YouTube. But there's not enough media at this show of 50,000 people to make any kind of impression. So they may remember you, but more than likely you're just some guy who walked up with a camera and they'll never remember you again. They deal with a lot of people.
Right. That's what I'm saying is there's, yeah. My biggest thing with that would be, is like Tack was saying, is don't go there expecting to get deals right off the bat, and don't look like you're pushing for a deal, because they probably don't have time, nor do they care.
God, I can't believe I'm going down this funnel, but it's like one of those natural things for me no matter what. I apologize, but I'll give you this 10 seconds of sales training at this point too. Shit, hold on one second. I got distracted by the family. Hold on one second.
No worries.
I was going to touch up on a little bit on the Tack that he said.
Yeah, go for it, Marco.
Honestly, like he said it well. It's a lot like talking to a girl. Like when you talk to these people, a lot of time, especially by like day 2 or 3, towards the end, these people are tired. They're exhausted.
Yeah.
Find something else other than business to talk to them about. You should never. Right. I try not to start a conversation with business. I'll see someone's pair of shoes and I'll talk about their pair of shoes. I'll talk about how exhausted they are, but like, what was the worst fucking thing you've seen so far this show? Like, they'll tell you stories and be like, well, yo, I saw this one guy, get chased down the hallway, And so just find something else other than business to talk about that maybe not even.
Yeah, they're probably tired of talking shop to begin with.
Exactly.
By the last couple of days, for sure. I was going to say, at the same time, have your what's referred to as the elevator speech. Have it practiced. Be professional. Have 2 sentences that come out of your mouth in less than 15 seconds that express to somebody who you are, and the fact that you're interested in communicating with them, because you will go to booths where you really want to talk to these people, and the person will say to you, "Hi, I have 30 seconds because I have a meeting coming right now." Or
right,
and that happens a lot. You'll find that a lot of people, their time is booked.
Yeah.
They don't have time for the flyer by. They have those special rooms and those booths they were talking about that are 2 stories that have the offices. That's so all the executives can disappear and not have to talk to anybody, except the meetings that they have pre-planned. So there's gatekeepers there. There are gatekeepers for the media at certain booths. Keep that in mind as well. But have your elevator speech. "Hi, my name is Joe. This is what I do. I'd love to talk to you about X, Y, and Z." Bam, that's it. Here's my card. Can I follow up with you? Can I have your card? Would you take the call if I called you back in a week or so?
Right.
I know you're going to be slammed when this thing's over. Can I call you 10 days from now? All right, I'm going to call you 10 days from now. If it's that important to you, have a plan and really implement it and make it work for you. You're going to spend all this time and money there. Don't float.
Absolutely. Don't be the shadow that's, hanging and lurking in the back.
And
at the same time,
they're paying $5,000 for a tiny booth to show off the product. So you're helping them.
Right. You're respecting them. You're respecting them and their time. And if it's dead and they say, "Well, tell me more about what you do," then the door's open. But if they say, "Cool, thanks, here's my card," say, "Cool, show me the one thing I need to see at your booth so I can remember who you are." Great. Write it down on the back of the card like you have interest and walk away. I can't, I've seen the flip side. I've seen guys interrupt multi-$1,000 deals to tap some guy on the shoulder just to make sure that they saw that they were at the show.
Yeah.
I'm like, that guy's in a suit doing business, and I've seen these things. You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. No, for sure. And that's kind of what this whole thing is about is I want to go there, and Clover and Smeggy, we all want to be there and be productive. And if you don't know some of the tricks of the trade, you're going to be less productive. And I don't want to go there feeling like I wasted my time and energy and money. I want to go there, be as productive as I can. And I think I probably speak for Smeggy and for Clover. I don't know if I do or not,
Let's talk about being productive.
As much time as possible.
Let's talk about being productive then. So we live in an era where everything's been covered. You're not going to, like Tax said, you're not going to go to SHOT Show and be the first, because you need to have pretty good familiarity with the place and some connections to be able to be first on anything. And that wouldn't really give you much end result. Nobody cares about anything this year to be first of, right? So how do you be productive at SHOT? You could take a bunch of videos of stuff, and that may provide videos for your channel. But is your channel going to be like mine, 3,000 videos? Is that where your goal is, to have saturation with a video of everything? Then be prepared to sit at the SIG booth for a little while. Be prepared to sit at the FNN booth for a little while, and every other booth that has more than 10 models. Don't even walk to an ammo booth, because you'll sit there for the entire show and never finish an ammo.
Right.
So if you're going to try to saturate the show, you'd need multiple people. We brought, in 2010, the first year it was at the Sands, we were battling the new floor plan. So this was Convention Center at the Vegas, then Florida, and then the Sands. So 3 different venues in 3 different years. We had no head start knowing anything. We went to a new venue, new floor plan, new city, right? So, and also a new time of year. Before then, they used to do it with the Super Bowl. So it was a new time of year, new SHOT Show and everything. And we ended up with 4 of us. We got 340 videos that year. So that's what people who knew what they were doing. We had a little disadvantage, but we were rocking and rolling. And that was the heyday of making videos. That was 340. So I can safely say you're not going to get 340 videos made.
No.
That would be almost 1 a day for a year. What would 1 video a day for a year get you? Would it grow your channel? No, it's not. That's what I'm getting at. So even if you had ultimate resources and you could get 300 videos over there, it's not going to grow your channel the same as if you went to SHOT Show for 4 days and hung out with people in the industry. So how do we get productive at SHOT Show as new people in 2018? I think you're going to be best to do a tax set and make some connections and hang with people. You guys are going to look at the long run. You're going to be in Tulsa, you're going to be at NRA, and you're going to be at SHOT Show. How do you hook up with a girl when you see her at one bar, you see her at a restaurant, you see her out with her parents and your parents, right? So when you start showing up to multiple venues in multiple states over multiple months, that gets you in with people in a whole different way than going up and doing a stellar 3-minute video and putting it on your YouTube channel. So I understand that making YouTube videos is a goal, but I would suggest, at least put it out there, don't consider it your primary goal. Primary goal could be learning the industry, learning the building, which it seems like it's going to be in for a while, and then networking and learning what it's like to chat with these people. And if you go in there with a camera on your shoulder and you're shaking hands and you're saying, let's get some video because I've got to get a lot more video today. So how can I use your time? Like, let me use up your time here, as opposed to just walking by and being casual and chill. I don't know. Marco, I think, goes with more of that concept, and I think you could contrast with that. With
he's an elitist.
Well, he didn't go in to get as much content as he possibly could on video, which is what we used to do. And he comes out with Shot with a whole different set of networking than we would, because again, what do we offer when we walk up with a decent video production crew and we just rape them? We can get all the video of all their products really efficiently. We get them online. We were a big channel, so we were doing work for these people. But what did that do for us? Marco's got in with some of these people where, you know, he can go to dinner with them. So I did work for him, but he's going to dinner with them. So what's your goal at SHOT Show?
Yeah. Yeah, and I hear the way that I what I'm looking at, and I seen this going into J.M. Davis and Wanamaker to an extent. And it all depends on your perspective, what your end game is, and so forth. So this may be different for somebody else, but there is the potential, be it NRA, J.M. Davis, Wanamaker, SHOT Show, whatever. There's the potential to snag, to be able to snag that footage that gives you that filler content, because, you know, there's something to be said about upload frequency, live stream frequency, and things like that keeps that channel growth going. Also keeps the engagement live across social media and all that sorts of things. So all of that is wonderful in the sense that it gives you the opportunity. With that said, going into something like Wanamaker or SHOT Show at this point, from what I'm gathering here, is you've got, let's say you have 2 whole days there. You could easily film enough content to go the year, what with Wanamaker and J.M. Davis and NRA and all these other things, even private shows that Ghost and I have been talking about doing. You can easily get enough content there to, you know, to throw up over on your channel over time. So, you know, spend maybe a day familiarizing yourself, shaking hands, making contact, and then maybe spend another day on, you know, trying to get, you know, just that filler content for your channel. That's sort of where my brain is at on all of this, and I don't know if that's ill-fated or not, but
you're going to do a lot of work and get little results, I would say.
Here's the other way to look at it for you.
That, you know?
Here's the other way to look at it for you regular YouTube review type guys. If you get footage at SHOT Show of a booth and the owner agrees to stand there with you for a minute and hold up his new rail and talk about it, and then you get some photos or some video of the rail, and then eventually you get to the relationship point where he actually sends you a rail for review or to give you as a gift, now you have all that footage you can use for an additional review, that you now have the rail on your own gun and you're shooting it at a range, and you roll in footage from, you know, I first met this company at blah, 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 and then you roll in that footage. Like, that's another useful aspect, is getting B footage for future with certain companies, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's a great point. And you could also, by having footage, as opposed to being light on footage, you can make other best ofs, like other, you know, collections of videos from SHOT. We've done that.
Oh, sure.
Or for Instagram, or for Instagram videos or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hemi out there in the chat says that he knows that a lot of YouTube creators actually lost subscribers from last year's show because they just kept on putting so many videos out there every day from Shot. Like I said, my stuff's not going to be going out there that day or whatever. And I think if I could walk away, honestly, with 15 to 20 really good quality, videos over the week. I don't know if that's too little or too much, but I think that if I could walk away with 15 to 20 quality ones and put them out there for once a week for, a few months or something, that would be something that I think would be productive for me, because if I get much more than that, then like you said, I'm not wasting, but I'm spending too much time just trying to get content and not building relationships or experiencing the whole SHOT Show.
Let me ask everybody a question on the staleness of SHOT Show. At what point after SHOT Show should you not be posting stuff about SHOT Show?
I don't know, because I rarely watch videos anymore, honestly.
Yeah. Well, okay, Marco, how about this? You were probably posting pictures quite frequently during SHOT Show, but the backlog of pictures you took throughout the week, how much longer after the shot are you still posting pictures about SHOT? Is it a week or two or a month, or like, you don't post anything once you leave?
Once I go back to work, I maybe like the day that I go back to work is it. Maybe the second day I go back to work is the day that I stop. It all depends on how much content I have.
You guys understand what Marco does, though. He doesn't go to
right
to collect photographs.
Exactly, I understand that. Yeah, but I mean, he's still going to be posting or something and all that. So, but what I'm trying to say is it doesn't sound like much after SHOT's over do we need to worry about a whole lot of stuff. And 3-4 months down the line, it's probably way too long to be posting SHOT Show stuff, especially with NRA coming up and Wanamaker coming up. So,
well, if your video
depends on what you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, if the video is just like, hey, look, I'm at SHOT, this is a thing,
right?
Then yeah, maybe it might be stale. But if kind of what you were talking about before, if you're reviewing something, or you're doing something, or something happens in the news, like, hey, this is finally in the store. Oh, by the way, here's a thing of it from SHOT Show or whatever. Like, that kind of content would be fine. But if the entire video is just like, look at me, I'm at SHOT, here's a thing, bye. Yeah, people don't want to see that 6 months later because they don't care.
So that's true. But now if you take a video and you say, here's the Colt Mustang that they're thinking about coming out with, and you're one of 100 people that are making that video, then you have the tripod, or you have somebody hold the camera and you disassemble it, take it apart and look at some of the parts inside, and maybe you make a remark like, oh, the old one I saw only had one of these, this one has two of them or something, that's interesting. Or look at how they made this part out of plastic or MIM now. And then you put it back together. So now you were at SHOT Show, and usually you start the video so you don't have to edit it later with, like, we're here at SHOT Show 2018, taking a look at a Colt Mustang. Let's take it apart and take it apart, put it back together. If you post that video 8 months from now, who the hell doesn't want to see a Colt Mustang come apart and go back together? So it's definitely worth something 8 months down the line. It's never going to be sterile or stale.
As long as it's productive,
And now there's going to be an army of dudes trying to take guns apart, and dudes getting their wrists slapped by all the reps all day.
Oh, no. If you ask them if it's okay, they're there to take apart. You can take guns apart.
You got to ask.
Don't just assume, I guess. But once you get comfortable and you understand your role in SHOT Show, then you'll have no problem doing what you need to do. I'm just trying to give an example. So maybe you don't take it apart.
Absolutely.
Maybe you talk about it as a CCW. Maybe you bring a holster along and you put every gun into that holster. Maybe you bring a piece of graph paper and you measure every gun on that piece of graph paper. So now if you put up videos of a pistol from SHOT Show that's 8 months old, yeah, it's not the first look at it, but it's another of your series.
Different look at it.
Graph paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and two, we lose sight sometimes because we've got a very, very loyal viewership out there. Hemi's one of them, obviously, and he's the one that threw this subject out there. But the fact is, when you're talking about YouTube, going by the numbers. You get far more views on your stuff by people that are not committed as a subscriber. So if somebody happens across your video through search and suggestion or whatever, a year after SHOT Show, 6 months after SHOT Show, 8 months after SHOT Show, most of the time they're not paying attention to when that was released anyway.
Yeah, they don't care if it was after SHOT Show.
They were looking for a video that has to do
Your
with
video
whatever
happened to
you
pop
showing.
up on the results. Yeah.
So, yes, you have to keep your channel diverse for those regular people like Hemi out there. We can't hash the same things over and over and over and over again, but we can't discount those that come in later on either.
Yeah.
So the other thing, you're going to find things at SHOT Show that don't, that were just testing the water, or they were like, audience reaction type of experiment. So you'll never see it again. And you'll have footage of something that doesn't exist. So now you put it up 8 months, 12 months later, people are still interested because you got some of the rare footage of it. And there's something to be said for if it's not the first and now it's 6 months later, there's a whole bunch of people that weren't around paying attention at that time when it was first. And then there's a bunch of people that are like, oh yeah, I want to take a look at that again.
I got a question. Pink, you still around?
Yeah, I'm here.
I got a question for you. So this will be your second time, right? Was your first time last year?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm sure you talked with G and Marco and Tack and all these guys previously before going last year and got all of this. So now that you've been there that first time, what are you personally going to do maybe differently this year that you thought you were prepared for, but now you've realized, okay, well, this is a little bit different than I thought, or what, and that might not be the show. It might be the nighttime events and all that stuff. Is there anything that you look to do differently this year than you did your first time?
Well, I'm not much for the parties.
Right.
So as far as the nighttime thing goes, I mean, the one event last year I liked was the burgers and what was that called?
Burgers and Bullets.
Burgers at the Ranger 702 or whatever.
Yeah, that was a nice.
And you
event.
are a party. You may not like the party, but you are.
But I know last year, my goal was, we had set up like a question or like a thing on GunChannels that whatever anybody wanted to see, put it on a list, and I would go around SHOT Show and find it, take a picture, and stuff like that. And that was pretty much my job last year, or one of them. But I know this year I'm going to take my time and kind of look at more of the products.
Right.
That's not on that list.
I imagine when you're trying to get through the whole show and to meet and see all the stuff, everything becomes a big blur, and you probably leave there that day going, wait, what the hell did I see today? Did I see anything? I can't remember anything, And so, yeah, maybe taking the time to smell the roses a little bit and pacing yourself. Even though you might not get to see everything, sometimes that's okay, I don't know. Is that something,
I know,
should we try to see everything or not? I mean, that's the question.
Yeah,
if we're
not
the whole week, okay, right.
And I know this year I'm going to try to pick out a few things myself, add to the list.
Right.
Stuff that interests me.
All right. Yeah, because that's one of those things where, it's just like anything. A newbie's a newbie. And like you said, you can probably spot a newbie from a mile away.
One thing that helped me out was I had good reception. So I would go take a picture and post it on Instagram instantly.
Right. Yeah.
And I would text
Pick. Talking about just go ahead, Mark.
No, and it's funny because then I would text Pick and be like, "Where are you at?" So I can get some reception.
jump on his hotspot.
I mean, that's how we did our chat from the hotel room. I mean, I just hooked my phone up to hotspot and did the chat.
Yeah.
I've got something non-gun related, but probably important.
Absolutely.
Just making sure that you eat right and you sleep right. I mean, it's critical once you hit a certain age, and I'm assuming most of us are there, and it's more critical after about day 3 at this thing. Trust me.
That's not true. I party all night long, and I'm the first one awake.
First one awake to wake up and pee and go back to bed.
No, I'm literally. I come home at 3, 4 in the morning, and I'm waking Pink up. Like,
and how old are you?
Yeah.
I'm not that much younger than you.
You have not hit that age. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You can fake it awesome until about, well, it depends what your tolerance is, but you can have fun, you can do your thing. But if you don't get sleep by the third day, man, good luck. Good luck being on point. Good luck being on point. That's all I'm saying.
And you're going to Vegas, Ghost. So save back.
And that's a whole different. Yeah, that's a whole different conversation.
Save back $25-$50 and hit the casino. I mean,
just have fun with it.
Yeah, have fun. That's one thing I will say.
Now, let me ask you guys this, because there are a lot of extracurricular parties and events, whether it's range days or parties and all that, that I'm assuming most of these are probably invite only. As a newcomer to SHOT, is it, how do I put this? Is it reasonable for any of us to expect to be able to get into some of these events, or should we just basically kind of sit there and understand we got to pay our dues before we get into some of the events? I mean, are there ones that we could get into, or are there definitely ones that we can't get into, whether it's range days or our parties or whatever you want to call it?
I would say it's a mix of both. Like some are just like not even invite, but most of them are invite. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't set your don't set your sights on like the Glock party. Good luck. You know what I'm saying?
No, right.
But the one thing I will tell you, I don't care if you're a drinker or not. As far as a newbie, my best advice to you would be to go to the, like, for example, everyone stays at the Bellagio and the Monte Carlo, right? Whatever the fuck we decided, like, where those two hotels are together. That's basically attached to the convention center. Everyone goes there. Go to that bar, because everyone at that bar is there for SHOT, and you're gonna bump into people that you don't even know who they are, and you know what I'm saying? They're gonna start a conversation.
Right.
You know this other company, and that's part of talking non-business outside of business. Kind of like how I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like talking to a girl. You find something to talk about. That's not.
I can actually speak right on that. And although I've never done any direct business with them, that is how I met the guys from Daniel Defense. I was sitting there, and a guy sat down next to me. He's like, "You mind if I smoke a cigar?" I was like, "No, what's up?" And then la-di-da. I talked to him for 20 minutes before he left. He hands me his card. He's like the head counsel for Daniel Defense. Hey man, can I call you and talk to you? Can you introduce me to your marketing guy sometime? Yeah, absolutely. Give me a call. Like I said, nothing ever came from it. But however, that is exactly that bar he's talking about.
It was that easy though. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're willing to be cool and say hello to somebody, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we were talking earlier about the range days, and I know there's a couple different range days and different range events. Being a newcomer, what are the chances, if any? I mean, should we expect no chance in hell to get invited to range days, or I mean, what are those protocols? I mean, like I said, I don't know what to expect. So, I mean, should I go there thinking, well, maybe there's a chance in hell that I get into one of these, or should I just go ahead and understand that first year I'm done?
Especially if you know some of the. Well, here's the thing for you specifically. You already kind of know some of the people.
I do, yeah.
Because you know these guys, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's just like the parties, that some of them are super exclusive, and some of them they just want cameras in front of their stuff. So.
And that's the thing is I mean, are there smaller, quote unquote, range events that I should maybe look to get into to get my foot in the door that way, or what?
They're usually not small, but it's usually by invite only. Because if it is a range thing, it's usually the entire range is rented out that evening.
Okay, gotcha.
I will say that the official NSSF range day, I've never seen anybody show up without a plan and get through the gate. I have seen, however, people show up and seen people beyond the gate wearing badges for people that I know they are not.
Really?
I have seen that before.
You're kidding.
No, and from what I understand, it'll be, some company or some person will get, 3 badges, and then they'll wake up on that morning and someone's like, I'm not going. And then all of a sudden they're at range day with 3. They communicate with somebody. Someone shows up. They hand them to them. You're good to go. You're not getting ID checked if you have a range day pass. They're going to scan it as you walk through the gate, but they're not checking the ID versus the badge. At least they never have.
Yeah,
they never have.
Just don't make sure that you're like a middle-aged white guy and it says like Kim Jong-il or something like on
there. Yeah, you never know. I might be converted, you know? Yeah. That's just one of those things where, like I said, I mean, I know that there's so many things that happen throughout the week. And I understand that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Bring an iPro in here. Oh, that was dumb for us not to mention. Definitely bring an iPro in here.
Although they give them away at the gate, if you forget.
Yeah, but having electronics makes you seem
way
like
better.
Instead of
better.
I couldn't hear what Marco said. What did he say to bring?
Ear Pro and iPro, and especially like like the electronic ones that G-Web was mentioning.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
From what I understand, that media day you have to be registered, and one of the ways to get in is you have to have either gone in before as media, you have to get through an entire another process like you guys were talking about earlier in the call, or someone has to vouch for you. Like one of the companies that's displaying on the range, they have a certain amount of people that they can get in.
Right.
Does anybody know about that further?
There's way more than 2,500 people at Media Range Day.
So there's NSSF, right? The company that's been, or the organization that's been around since the olden days, since like the 30s. They're the industry's trade organization. And then they've done SHOT Show for something like 30 years now. So they have a company that runs SHOT Show for them, right? And then that company hires another company to run media. And for the longest time, that was all there was. And then this other company came around and did Range Day. And that just happened to coincide because they were smart. They knew that the entire industry gets together starting on like Tuesday or Wednesday. So the first day they would, the day before, they would just find a range nearby and do this thing. After years, they didn't really care that it got mixed together. And then eventually now the company that NSSF hires to run SHOT Show, who the media company that they hire, started to just do the media day at the range themselves. So now it's this company that SHOT Show hires, which, in other words, it's 2 levels down from NSSF. So there's nothing consistent. Every single media day is different, and every single SHOT Show is a little bit different. SHOT Show seems to have like a 5-year cycle or so when they fire the company and buy a new one. And then that company will get rid of the media company almost every other year. I haven't seen that be consistent for more than a couple years straight. So some of these questions we can answer on like, it's been like this for years, and some of them like, it's just always happened. It's been this way, and then other things change every single year. So, yeah, they cracked down. For a while, anybody could just show up to Media Day. And then they cracked down, and then they cracked down for, 2-3 years? And then this last year, they just started inviting everybody again, it looks like. And then this year, we can all invite other people. So they must need people there.
I can throw in a pro tip / Marco Baller tip. If you're going to go and you're not going to take the bus, you're literally 20 minutes away from Hoover Dam once you're there at that range. And I've made it a habit to go out and at least check it out every time. It's just cool shit to check it out if you've never seen it. And even if you have seen it.
Yeah, I've been there several times. It is awesome.
It's worth
really
the drive.
awesome,
it's worth the extra hour. And
sure.
again, you're there on vacation. That's a cool little pit stop. If you've never done it, that I would definitely say if you're going to drive, definitely put that in the afternoon plan.
So we don't think about it, but if you're coming from town, then yeah, you're only a couple of minutes really away from Hoover Dam from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was a question on the Gun Channel site, Ohio 45. I know Pink kind of addressed it, but this is actually something that's a good question, I think, to ask. For those of us that actually are trying to get video content, he was talking about cameras and microphones with the noise on the floor. Are there different types of microphones or cameras that work better? Should you use a corded microphone or just or is there anything tips on how to get better audio? Because I'm sure it is going to be incredibly loud on the floor.
Corded microphones always work best. Always.
Okay.
Especially when you're doing wireless, you got so many different wireless signals going in there. It's like corded mics always work best.
Or the handheld ones that go to disc are pretty good these days. Yeah. And it's not going to be great is the answer. No matter what you do.
It's SHOT Show. You're going
Yep.
there to be in a live event, so deal with it. I think that, yeah, you can attempt to silence it, and what do you get for your troubles? A video that might have a little bit more quality than the next guy's video, but you're the asshole who like needed to set him up with a microphone and needed to set up a tripod and needed to have the second guy, and then every time they're getting questions, they're going, damn it, what's this video going to do for me? And
yeah, I'm not that high.
I'm going to walk up and do a video
all
of
that. You know,
I'm going to walk up and do a video of you setting up with my phone and have that video uploaded from the media room laughing at you, and I'll get my content while you're pissing off that guy. And then I'll walk by and do a video with my phone and just look at the product and maybe listen to the guy say something, and there'll be some background noise because I'm at SHOT Show, but that guy won't even know that I did the video, or he won't care.
It's kind of the part of the video, you know.
Nobody's ever told me like, oh, your background noise is too much in your videos. And people love to bitch about how shitty our videos are. But that's one thing that nobody's ever complained about. Your cell phone is your friend. Its job is to get rid of background noise. So I would definitely not. You can definitely attempt it. But I'm trying to say that you're going to be such a nuisance that you're not going to provide any benefit to them anymore. They're going to grin and bear it, and they're going to thank you for it, and they're going to secretly not want to work with you ever again because you're the nuisance guy. I would walk up with a phone, do your video, and walk away and be the guy that was no muss, no fuss, and didn't ask nothing of me.
Right.
And now you're walking away friends with that guy. You only helped him.
Absolutely.
Good answer for sure.
Absolutely.
So can I do something else about videos that we didn't talk about before? So there were people on the YouTube side over there they're saying that, you know, videos get old and people don't even watch videos. Well, if you just stand there, and it is definitely a strategy to just stand there and let them do their spiel, right? I'm going to tell you about the fucking new Hudson, blah, 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 blah. It takes them like 3 or 4 minutes. You turn off the video at the end, you take a couple of stills, you cram them on there, you put your intro, your outro, you got a SHOT Show video. If you just do that and everybody else just does that, yes, there's no reason for anybody to watch those videos. But one year we had Angie go around and ask everybody the same question. And I forget where I got the idea to do that, but she thought it was awesome. And she just walked around and said, as a female who's going to start CCW, what gun would you recommend? And then each company, you know, she would just stand there with the camera, and each company's rep, like, explained to her which gun of theirs was perfect or whatever. And it was ultimately interesting for people to just watch that series of videos, because every once in a while a company would say, like SIG said, you know, like, instead of saying like, okay, you're at the Ruger booth and I'm going to answer that question with the Ruger P9 or whatever, the SIG guy was like, how do you carry? Like, what kind of holster? You know, he actually asked questions. And then once he knew what her deal was, he suggested a gun to her. But it was just ultimately interesting to watch that progress. Like, and so if you come up with something interesting to ask these companies that actually is insightful, then you just ask each of the companies that question, or just ask companies insightful questions, period. Doesn't have to be consistent. And if your videos stand out, then yeah, people are going to watch a couple of YouTube videos, and yours are going to be in that list.
Right. Yeah, good point. I like that.
Ooh, I got another one.
Yep.
Anyone that you've worked with in the past that you know will be at SHOT Show,
visit them.
It is. I've had it. The mix gets so crazy that I got to the last day and I was like, I can't believe I haven't gone to their booth. And, you know, I ended up making sure that I literally wasted I had to put off a whole morning. I was like, no, I have to do this. Put that in your plan, because these people, again, you're going to go see them. And if they've helped you in any way, you've emailed them, you've talked to them, they sent you a cleaning brush or a nothing, you know, go say hello in person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, we've been going at 2 hours, which is crazy.
You gonna do more of these because we haven't talked about the
that's my whole thing is I don't think a 4-hour chat on this would be smart. I think if we could do 2 or 3 of these, and obviously maybe get Haas in when he's able to get in, but do 2 or 3 of these and try to ask different questions and attack it from different things, I think people will probably get, because I tell you what, I've written down, 2 pages of stuff. And like you said, we've only kind of scratched the surface of what to do, what to expect at SHOT. So if everybody is able and willing, depending on schedules, I would love to do a couple more of these. We've got it, a month and a half or so.
Special edition. Special edition on chafing.
Yeah, right. Bring the powder with you.
I don't care. I watched my brother waddle on day 4 last year. It was funny.
Yeah. What's up, Marco?
Baby powder.
Baby powder's the answer.
Yeah. You got to bring the powder, man.
Here's the
Gotta do it.
solution. Don't hang out with Yankee.
That's the
I don't
solution
plan
for
on
many.
hanging out with Yankee regardless, so it's all good.
I plan on doing usually what I usually do, which is curse from afar and then disappear.
Right. Apparently, Yankee's there to eat the cookies, so it is what it is. But no, I wanted to say thank you to everybody that's been watching, and to especially guys on the panel. I want to give you guys, should you want to, a chance to plug anything you got coming up. Smeggy, we'll start with you.
All right. I'm gonna go with the Daily Gun Show every day at noon Eastern and whatever time the other place is. There should be some stuff at the end of January about SHOT Show, but we talk about stuff every single day. It's awesome.
That's right. Thanks for coming in. Well, like I said, we'll have a couple more of these. Pink, what you got?
The only thing I'm going to say is we'll probably get a page set up on GunChannels to ask people what they want to see at SHOT Show coming up.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'll do that again this year, but I won't be attacking it full force like I was last year. But
well, I feel like
I'll
you'll have a
use
little
much-
more help this year, Pink.
Yeah,
So
maybe. Yeah, I'll have you,
we
Smeggy.
might tag team it.
That'll work. So yeah, go to GunChannels, sign up for an account, and tell us what you want to see.
Absolutely. Bob, what you got?
Well, seeing Smeggy stole my GunChannels promo, I'll have to just say, sub to my channel, BikerBob59, and if I can get over 1,000 subs before the Crazy Leprechaun, I'd be happy as hell.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
I think Clover's putting out some negative media about you out there right now, so he's combating this thing. Marco, what you got?
I was just gonna say, it's Black Friday. We still got Cyber Monday. There are a hell of a lot of
Small
deals.
Business Saturday.
Yep. Buy someone that you love that is anti-gun, something that's pseudo-tactical. Something that doesn't screen gun, but that's somewhat tactical, like a cool flashlight. Buy them something that's pseudo-tactical because they probably don't even know it and they'll probably enjoy it.
Good point.
That's actually a really good idea.
That's a really good idea.
Definitely. A good flashlight.
Yeah, something pseudo like tactical keychain, something.
Yeah, I like that
or
idea.
cryo,
That's a really
whatever.
good idea. Clover, what you got?
I'm back for Firearm Friday in about 2 hours. So we talk holsters tonight. So.
Awesome. Tack Daddy, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate you. What you got? I know you got some stuff to plug.
Nah, hold on. I'm registering pseudotactical.com before Marco. I
think G might have beat you. He's on it also,
probably,
I bet.
Probably. Hashtag pseudotactical. If you're subscribed to me on YouTube, go unsubscribe. And if you, just get away. Everybody go away. I don't need new subscribers. I don't want new subscribers. I got my posse. I'm good. I'm solid. I'm thinning the herd. I'm going to kick out subscribers soon.
There you go. It's like that Facebook cleanse, you know? You got to get rid of the Facebook cleanse.
Exactly. Everybody have a safe holiday and a good weekend. Appreciate you having me on, man.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate you, Kevin. Yeah, anything you got to plug it specifically, or are you good?
Gun News Weekly on Thursday nights. Check out Gun News Weekly, which is on. It's right here on GunChannels on the channel that we have here, and then also gunnewsweekly.com and on Kevin the Tack Daddy YouTube channel right now.
Man, I really appreciate you coming in, and we'll
got it, man. Thanks for reaching out.
Hey, no worries, bro. Appreciate you. G, what you got, man?
We're gonna do another chat here in a minute to get the house now. We've got everybody figured out who's going, so except for Moon, I guess. We just got to figure out if Moon's going, and we can get a house and all the fun that will entail.
I got your screen shared right now to the SHOT Show bingo. I'm kind of digging this.
Yeah, maybe we can actually do this. So somebody came out with some stupid snarky one back in the olden days, and it was like, rape a booth chick or like do cocaine with a booth chick or something like that.
Wow.
So instead of being the crazy 1980s shot show, I made one that's like for YouTube people and people that are on social media and hopefully Second Amendment advocates, so that we can maybe do a couple of things outside of your comfort zone. Do a couple of things you might not think about, but you've got the entire community together. So you've got almost the entire industry together. What am I saying? So you've got manufacturers there, you've got distributors, you've got gun shop owners, you've got the organizing body that brings the industry together. You've got a presence from the NRA, the Gun Owners of America, and the Second Amendment Foundation, all in the same place for a week, which is unique. Nobody else gets all those organizations together. You got a hallway in front of the media room, which is all the nonprofits that don't have to pay to be there, so they shove them up there by us. So you have an opportunity to really get some exposure to places that need it. Things like, youth shooting. Clover's going to love that floor, I think. There's a lot of youth things up there, a lot of, opportunities for vets and for different segments of the population and whatnot, and then even different segments of the shooting sports that are often neglected. It's not as good as NRA, where they give 20% of the floor space, but it is an industry show. So anyway, the bingo is designed to get people out and doing some of the things that, like I say, networking. So many people think of SHOT Show as like, I'm going to do what the other guy did. But there's a lot more to SHOT Show. It's literally the biggest thing we have. It's the 5th biggest trade show in Vegas, which, is significant in itself. So, it's literally the entire industry. So there's a lot of potential there. And the nice thing about having a lot of different media there is that's lots of different ways for cameras to roam around and find different things. I mean, I've interviewed ATF there. I've interviewed FBI. There's that opportunity. I've sat down with a half an hour with the ATF talking about the lag on 4473 or on Form 4s and 2s and stuff. So anyway, there's all kinds of things to do there. So the bingo is supposed to try to help people think of some of that shit. And then I've never had anybody participate in it. I posted pretty much every year, but not very many people who, get their faces out of the cameras for 5 minutes, go to SHOT. Either people are going to party. We didn't really talk about the people that just go there to party. And then they're also there to try to make a dime every second they're there. And hopefully this is an attempt to try to get people to lighten up and be a little bit more in the middle.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, I appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. I've learned an enormous amount already, and I know that we probably haven't even scratched the surface yet. I want to thank everybody who has been out there. We've had a lot of different people in and out. I want to thank everybody for showing up and watching. I hope you guys might have learned something, and if you are actually thinking about going to SHOT, maybe we've helped you out so far. And stay tuned to other episodes of this. We're going to try to get these going at least a couple more before January rolls around, that we can get different facets of SHOT Show covered and all that. But I do want to thank you guys for checking this out, and thank you to my panel guys. I really, really do appreciate it for something that's kind of just popped up in the last few days. I think we got a lot of information today, and there's a lot more we're going to get. So thanks again, guys, and check out all these guys' shows throughout the week. I want to plug Tactical Tuesday on Tuesday nights at 8 Eastern. I want to thank you guys for always contributing and supporting my stuff as well as everybody else's. Go check out GunChannels.com. It is a free community for pro-gun and pro-Second Amendment like-minded people to go there and have a place to gather where we don't feel like we're being shit on by everybody else. So go and check out Gun Channels. Enjoy what Gun Channels has to offer, the 24-hour chat. It's up 24/7, 365. And I hope everybody had a really great Thanksgiving. I hope everyone had a safe Black Friday. And Cyber Monday's coming up. And one thing that Clover actually brought it up, and I've been trying to help out, is Small Business Saturday. Go check out your local gun shops tomorrow. They're probably trying to run some really good deals. And your local gun shops will appreciate your business a hell of a lot more than some of these online super big box stores. So if you've got time, go check out your local gun shops and support them. But until next time, guys, thanks again for checking us out, and Semper Fi.